Hi, my name is Vamsi Sisla. This is a seventh video in the Azure training video series. In this video, I will cover how to download your profile settings from Azure, save them in your local machine, and then launch a Visual Studio application and create a very basic .NET application, and how to publish that into your Azure cloud. So as we spoke in before, I'll just create a very quick Azure website. VCSLA is available, so it's creating the website. It should be done momentarily. Okay, so there you go, it's running. I click on that. In my home view of that particular service, you see this download the published profile. Go ahead and click on that, and that downloads your published profile into your download directory. For now, you can move it to a different location if you choose to. I will move it to my Cloud Masters class here, and put it on the main folder here. So I saved my publish profile from Azure on my local directory. Then what I do is I open my Visual Studio, but caution, when you launch Visual Studio, make sure that you right click on it and run as an administrator. You have to run as an administrator, then only you're able to publish directly into your Azure account. So when you select that, it gives you this pop-up, are you sure you want to do this? And you say yes, and it's going to open up a Visual Studio, the Visual Studio Express, and click on a new project. And here you have a few templates. Visual Studio automatically provides these. So in here, click on Visual C# and select Web. In there, select ASP.NET MVC4 Web Application. Name this Azure Cloud Net Application, or name it as 1C Azure, that way you can remember it. It by default puts it under user / your username / document / Visual Studio 2012 / projects folder. Say OK. It's going to ask you whether you want to use a template or empty template or existing templates. I will keep it as internet applications and say OK. So there you go. So this is your very basic .NET application. We can quickly build this and run it and see. But before I do that, I want to give you some lay of the land. For those of you who are new to Visual Studio, on the right side you have your Solution Explorer. Here you have access to all the files and folders of that particular project, and you have these navigation elements as well. You can click on any of these to learn about them. The most common thing we'd be using is build solutions, rebuild and clean solutions, either that or and if you want, just go ahead and build this particular solution once to see if there are any errors. So you just run the project. It's zero failed errors, so that means everything is fine. Here, this is configuration setting. You can select as debug or release. For now, I'm going to leave it as debug. And you can select your favorite browser. I have it as Google Chrome, and I click run. As soon as I click run, it's launching that particular .NET application using my local host. See this local host. I'm running this on my local machine with my local IIS. Okay, and this page, you can modify this page by going into the source code. For now, I'm going to stop debugging by pressing this red button, and then if you see, this is where the application code is sitting. If you click on that, you'll see all the source files. In here, the home control is where the home page is getting the data from. You could just change this to any text you want. Just to prove the point, I'll just make some notes here. So there you go. So I made some changes to the home controller, and I'm going to save it. And this time I'm going to rerun it again. This time I don't have to. I'm not going to build it. I'm just going to run it. When I run it, it automatically will take the new source code and rebuild it and run it. So there you go. So when I relaunched it again on the browser on the local host, you see that it has put my name here. And if you go into contacts, you'll see it has put Vamsi Sislas contact. So that's how simple it is to publish a page locally using Visual Studio. But that's not the purpose of this exercise. I want to show you how to publish this onto Azure Cloud. So I will stop the debugging. So the first time you do this, the way you publish to Azure Cloud is by clicking on right clicking on this. And here the fourth menu option is publish. Click on that publish. At this point, it's asking you where to publish, how to publish, and so forth. So remember, we already downloaded our public publishing profile details from Azure, right? So I'm gonna navigate to that location, and I see this is my publish settings. Say OK. So I use that particular publish profile. Say OK. So there you go. So it pulled all my details, and the publish method, there are two ways here. There's web deploy package, FTP. For this particular exercise, we're going to pick web deploy, and this is the server name, and this is my site name. That's my username, and the password is an encrypted password. And this particular tool is extracting all this information from the public profile. Say next. Here it's asking me whether the configuration is release or debug. I'm going to select it as debug for now. I'm going to leave this blank for now because there's no database, and click next. And just give me an option to start preview. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click publish. So there you go. As you can see all this action that's taking place. That means the emulator is packaging everything and pushing it into the cloud, Azure Cloud. It says publish started here. See this? That means it's publishing into the Azure Cloud. So there you go. So this was my Azure websites URL, vcsloud.azurewebsites.net, and voila, Vamsi Sislas ASP.NET MVC application. So there you go. So you just published your application from your local machine to Azure Cloud with a few clicks. Now what we'll do is we'll go back to the Azure portal, see what happened. What happened when we published this, right? When we published this, it pushed all that code here to this particular location. The local code is residing in this location right now. And as you can see, since I visited the site once, it's giving me some metrics. You know, what is the CPU usage? If there's any failed errors, it will show me that too. And how many requests came in and so forth. And you can actually go to your page from here also. If you click on this site URL, boom, it's the same page. Okay. Now go ahead and give it a try on your local machines and see if you can publish your first .NET application to Windows Azure websites. The steps are: first you have to create Azure websites on Azure portal, download the profile details onto your local machine, then you launch your Visual Studio using admin mode, and then you create the application using one of the templates. Then You test it locally once, then you hit publish. When you hit publish, it will ask you to enter your publish profile. You add that, import that into your project, and once you do that, you follow through the steps and you just published your first Windows Azure websites. Thank you.